Indeed, it was muted. I'm sorry. Why hello? Hello. That was because of the old Mordor thing from yesterday. If you weren't paying attention, and why would you? You're a DDO player. If you were also a Lord of the Rings Online player, though, we did do our big, basically unveiling first look at Mordor. And we had a somewhat unusual setup in the studio caused by, as often happens, everything sounds great, let's go live. Oops, why is this not working? So that was not fun. But nonetheless, we sort of scrambled at the last second to get everything working. Working it is now. But that is why twere I muted. Hey Palm, Snow White Fox, Randy, RD2 Play, Wanatuck, Big Sugar. Everyone over on Facebook. Wrapping up my stint on Argo here this week. We're going to be running the second quest of Update 35 here, the one that we didn't do on Wednesday. Biggest piece of news in the DDO world right now is really that we are getting ready to do Update 36 on Lamania, most likely next week. Stay tuned for kind of an exact day, exact when, what have you, but most likely it'll be latter half of the week. I think we're going to take Monday night's build, so I would not think we'd be getting it up any earlier than, say, Wednesday afternoon. Could even be Thursday or even Friday, kind of depending on how things go. But that'll be cool, because it'll be our first and potentially only preview of Update 35 here on Lamania. We're going to have the new adventure pack in whatever state it's in. I understand there may be, you know, a couple of them coming in kind of hot, so we may have a few quests that aren't really quite ready for preview that we're going to preview anyway. But hey, if you know Lamania, you're cool. You're used to that stuff. No biggie there. But a lot of it is in a pretty good state to show off, so I think people are going to be pretty psyched to see it. We are, like I say, returning to the Forgotten Realms, returning to the Underdark, kind of doing a cool political thing with Drow versus Dwarves. Should be pretty neat, I think, overall. Let's not talk about nerfs. I agree. Besides, it'll be fine. I actually didn't mind talking about it, though. I thought that was kind of a fun conversation on Wednesday. So live about the 4th of July. I think the plan is basically not too long after that holiday. I don't think it'll be that week. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we're going to have the Battle Engineer changes up. We'll have, you know, most of the new quests up. You'll be able to see the new loot and some other cool things that are in Update 36. And development is full steam ahead on Mordor. Or not Mordor. Jeez. Can you tell where my brain's at right now? For debuting Mordor 2. Their equivalent of Lamania today. Ravenloft. Work is 100% underway on Ravenloft. We've got, I saw some people working on Castle Ravenloft. I saw some people working on Barovia. I saw some people working on the landscape. A lot of sprint planning underway in terms of, you know, when's this going to get done? When's that going to get done? What's the raid going to look like? Some very cool stuff. I think people are going to be pretty psyched. What monsters we might have in Ravenloft. Should be cool. Way too early to get into specifics, but it's going to be a pretty fat bunch of quests and at least one raid. And probably more. Along with just a huge amount of stuff, so I think it's going to be very cool. Looking forward to showing it off later. It's going to be a while yet. I mean, clearly we have a tentative time frame in mind, but it's really at such an early state at this point that it's kind of anyone's guess if it actually hits sort of when that date is on a sheet of paper, you know? The reality of game development is you say, yeah, we're going to have it done by X date. We haven't actually started working on it yet. We have no idea the problems that are going to suddenly crop up. But sure, we'll do that date. And that's why generally companies don't talk too much about the exact when until they're closer to it, because if you really want to see the sausage get made, you better have a pretty big eraser on that whiteboard. I've heard it said by someone else in the industry that it's kind of, if you actually see this stuff get made, it's kind of amazing that any video games come out at all. That's not entirely inaccurate. Waiting on those favored soul changes, it's going to be a while. You know, the goal is to get them out, and probably it'll either be a point update, like 36 patch whatever, or the patch will end up being big enough that it'll turn into update 37, and then 38 will be Ravenloft or something like that. I think it really kind of depends. But it will be, though, before Ravenloft. So Ravenloft will come out first, and or the Cleric and Favored Soul stuff will come out first, and then Ravenloft. And the reason for that is because we know full well that it just ties so thematically well into Ravenloft that we really want our undead killers and all that to be in good shape and ready to rock for Ravenloft. I don't know if I have any... A Sunlover should hopefully be able to do it. There we go. Drow or Superior just saying, I am a big fan of Drow. But I do like this half-orc. Did I hear that right? Ravenloft is coming? Yes. Yes, we have announced our next expansion is going to be Ravenloft. Coming probably later this year sometime.
The rune flickers to life when it is activated.
You know, that's interesting, Bortek. I have actually never played a Sun Elf all the way to, really to any significant state. I've played a Sun Elf, you know, a little bit as an iconic, just kind of joining groups and that, but I've never really dedicated a lot of time to playing a Sun Elf. I really should. Because they're very cool, and you think they kind of right up my alley, but I just, for some reason, I just have never really done it. I may have to do that. Next character will have to be a Sun Elf.
The rune sparks to life when the lever is pulled. Ergnonth cries, "At last I am free." I can sense
Why
that the
Ravenloft and not
amphitheater has collapsed.
Greyhawk? Copyright
Maybe near the
issues?
cave-in.
No. I mean, we want to do Ravenloft. Also, it fits really well with what's going on in the world of D&D at this time. Well, basically. And Ravenloft is perhaps one of the, if not the most popular D&D module of all time. So it's kind of a big get in terms of that. Plus, it's just fun. I mean, we really want to do Ravenloft because it'll be kick-ass. Why not Greyhawk, though? I do think, you are talking about I don't actually know what all the legal sort of ramifications are with Greyhawk, who owns it, what their plans are for it, and all that sort of thing. But I do think Greyhawk is in a little bit of a more difficult state to be able to develop for. I think that's frankly why we haven't really seen Greyhawk in any video games. I can't think of that. Can you think of it? Oh, well, in modern era anyway.
Ruined amphitheater are now the site of a dark ritual conducted by cultists and a fearsome black dragon.
I would be down for doing Greyhawk, though. I always liked Greyhawk a lot myself. I still have my first edition Greyhawk box set, the one that comes with that really awesome just map and nice fat booklet and all the rest of it. It's one of my favorite, actually, first edition things that I own. The production value, it's so classic D&D. It's a lot of fun. But I do think, making a modern-day Greyhawk would be a challenge.
Quickly, into the passageway to the south. You'll find the second artifact at the end of several aqueducts.
Sun Elf Eldritch Knight? I don't know. I'm tempted to say a Sun Elf Druid. That way you could be a dog that likes to lay in the sun. Why not allow a succubus as a player character? Reasons? Reasons involving coverage of clothing, maybe? Can the half-elf player get better beards? I know that is actually something I do think we'll see eventually. We don't have it slated into any formal time frame or anything at this point, but pretty much everybody on the team is of that mind that, man, we really need to take another crack at High Elf, and I do think that's going to happen relatively near future. What class am I that only have 4 bars? I'm a barbarian. And I'm also only level 11. Those bars will probably double by the time I hit level 30. But for now, actually, I could probably get away with 3 bars. Maybe even 2. Really, for my barbarian build here, I just have pretty much all my active attacks on bar 1. And then what little gear I need to swap, I'll just do on bar 2. Bar 3 is usually potions or skills, that sort of thing. Once I get some Epic Destiny feats and that, I'll have more things to click, but at the moment it's a pretty straightforward character. Are there any plans to add an option for a larger UI? Not formal plans, but it's something we would like to do. I think it's going to make sense that at some point, because of the prevalence of 4K monitors and such in the economy nowadays, that's growing, I should say, I think we will see, frankly, a need to do that UI scaling work. But it's going to be a big project, it's going to be an expensive project, it's going to be a project that's almost certainly controversial, because, you know, people hate the way things look, and they also like the way things look, and when you try to change it, it's almost invariably half the people are like, that's better, and half the people are like, oh my god, you ruined it. So the odds of success on that are perhaps not real high. But, yes, I do think it's something we're going to have to do. I don't know when, though. I mean, clearly we've got our hands full with getting update 36 out the door and then working on Ravenloft. And I really highly doubt we would be able to set aside that level of time commitment prior to or for Ravenloft.
The door opens, offering refuge from Porcazo, the ancient blue dragon, and the electric blue water. The cavern tunnel leads deeper into the giantish complex.
I am on Argonesson. But yeah, I mean, especially with 4K monitors, you know, I mean, if you try to look at our game launcher to our UI and all that on a 4K monitor, it's rough.
A second aqueduct stands before you. Surrounding it are stone platforms in various states of repair, as well as some small stone outcroppings. A dark and ominous shape can be seen in the distance. Lightning strikes the water below, causing electricity to course through it.
I'm looking forward to my weekend. How about you? What do you got going on this weekend? Anything cool? I myself have got maybe a little time for DDO tonight, hopefully. I have my son with me, so my free time is slim.
Exposing water beneath it.
But tonight I'm hoping to get some stuff in. This weekend looks nice. We got fireworks going on locally. One of the little towns near me has got a fireworks display happening. That'll be cool. It's always fun taking a young kid to fireworks. And I enjoy it myself, but, you know. We have a 50% crafting XP boost that kicked off yesterday. That goes through the weekend, so if you're doing any Caneth crafting, it's a good opportunity to maximize that crafting XP.
creature emits a
Ooh,
guttural
Archon
groan,
Raid. That's cool.
collapses.
Good luck with that. Ooh, King Cosmo visiting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Already did that last weekend, but that sounds cool. I've always wanted to go there myself. Seems like a fun place to go.
This door opens into a
How about
second
allowing
cavern,
bards to have a
revealing your
choice of
clues
instrument?
from
That
the
would be
intentions
cool.
of the
That would be
blue dragon.
great. I think we'd be all in on that. It'd be a lot of animation work. I think that's probably why it isn't currently, something that we have. But yeah, that would be really cool. King Cosmo streaming 2 DDO streams Saturday, 4 p.m. Very cool. It's good to be king. That's a relatively new show here on DDO stream. Ooh, nice. I have... Maybe it's because I just haven't pugged it or whatever. But I have not yet successfully run Riding the Storm out on Thelanis, and I'm kind of hoping to do that sometime. Will you need to go through the Underdark series to get to Ravenloft, or will it be a teleport option when you log in? Neither. I kind of don't want to spoil it too much, but if you know the Ravenloft story, you'll know a little bit about kind of how people tend to get to Ravenloft. And so we want to probably pay homage to that to some extent. I don't really want to spoil it. But I can say for certain that because it's not in the Forgotten Realms, you will not go through the Underdark to get there. Ah. Nice, have fun, Titan. That sounds like a cool time.
You spot a set of 3 levers.
If you have a good job offer in California, just remember, I'm only saying this because I know you, Titan. Look into the cost of living. California is an expensive place to live. Kind of money that you can live in the Midwest versus the kind of money it takes to live in California. A little bit nutso.
Lightning suddenly arches across the water, followed by a harsh laugh from above.
Is it considered a success if someone else does everything needed to win that raid? I will say yes. And the reason I will say yes is because that's how I got my first Abbot completion, as a Soul Stone. And I counted that as a success, because I had not yet seen that completion screen previous. Is it a great success? No. But is it a success? Yes. That's the official ruling. Alright, is someone able to get the unlock mechanism for the levers back there? People talking about karaoke. I don't know if it's because of my awesome t-shirt. I don't know if anyone can see this. Let me show my fat chest. It's Godzilla karaoke. Yeah, it's Godzilla singing into a microphone. Japanese lettering says Godzilla karaoke. Yes, why do I do this to myself?
The sound of grinding gears resonates throughout the walls. In the distance, you spot the glow of a signal crystal.
I just read, it was always kind of nice, and it's fine, it's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to be critical or anything, but, I get into the office, get my cup of coffee, sit down at the desk, open up the forums, start reading threads. Within a few minutes of getting into the office, read a thread about how fat I am. Oh my god. Thanks.
The signal crystal
Lovely.
and the portal in front of the ruins disappears. You can now enter the giant's temple. The third of the signal crystals begins to glow.
If only I hid in the shadows and never let anyone see me. Internet trolls have long lost the power to impact me. Never really did. Yep. Where could you get that shirt? I don't know. I got it at PAX East a couple years ago. Yeah. Ragnarok has a question about when Ravenloft will be released. He said, I hear it's going to be December. Is that true? We're not yet ready to announce that. I don't even know that if we were betting, we would really have... I mean, we've got a target date, but it's kind of early in the process to know if that's actually going to happen or not. But the goal is later this year, though. What quest am I on? I am on Black and Blue. This is one of the new quests available in Update 35. There are two kinds of people. Those who, when faced with a T intersection, will turn left by default, and those who will turn right by default. I'm not saying it's a political thing, but it is a thing. I think if you were to just take 100 people and put them in a situation like this, you would get a certain percentage that will always turn left and a certain percentage that will always turn right. I myself am a turning left kind of guy. I don't know why that is. I'll probably be on, I will certainly be on Lamania for our update 36 preview. If it happens at night though, I may be with my kids, so I may not be able to. But I'll certainly, so I think, let's just say, and this is all speculation, but let's just say we open up Lamania Wednesday, Thursday, then what I'll probably end up doing is having a preview the following Wednesday for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Maybe see if I can get Sealstar or someone to swing by and talk Artificers. Maybe show off a little bit of the stuff. So, do a real spoiler light look at the quests. So that would interrupt my Caneth schedule. But next Wednesday will almost certainly be Caneth, and then probably the week after, which would be, what, July 5th. So everyone coming back from the 4th of July break. Turn right, righty-tighty. Same here, I always go left. I purge straight ahead, no matter what the cost. I like it. Yeah. And that's a lot of effort for a collectible node. It's okay. You know, it's interesting. Right-handed people will go right, left-handed go left. No, except I'm right-handed. For me, left just makes logical sense. I don't know. It's how I would follow a wall in real life, I guess. Ooh, Syracuse Comic-Con. That sounds cool. I make my own path. Walls be darned. What's my take on the Slave Lords quest line? I'm thinking about buying it. I work as the community manager for Dungeons and Dragons Online, so trying to give qualitative judgments is really better left to the community. I personally like it quite a bit. I think if you're a loot-focused person, there's a lot of benefit in the slave rings and things like that. So it's a grind, but there's a lot of benefit to going through that effort if you want to. So I personally recommend it, but it kind of depends on you, your budget, you know, what you got going on. I don't want to be too much of a salesperson. Yeah, the slavers rags are really awesome. Oh yeah, there's some cool just regular named loot in there too. But the crafted rings are.
And the magic barrier fades. The way to the artifact chamber is now clear.
Am I a NASCAR fan? They always turn left. That's interesting. Not so much a NASCAR fan, but I do like IndyCar racing. I've been going to the Indianapolis 500 quite a few times. I used to be a reporter in Indiana and cover the Indy 500 as a reporter, which was really, really cool. And so it kind of instilled actually a real interest in the Indy car racing scene. I never would have expected that that would be me, because I sort of am not typically much of a sports guy, nor am I really much of a car guy. But when I actually was covering it as a reporter, I got to get a better sense of what these people actually do for IndyCar racing, how it's actually a team sport, and some of the computers and high tech and mechanics involved and everything. And it was pretty interesting to me. So, but they turn left, so maybe it is a race car thing. Maybe it is a race car thing. Yeah. Can you earn, you call them standing stone tokens, but you mean DDO points on DDO, like on Locher, or do I go broke on this game? No, yes, you can earn DDO points through favor, and you get favor by completing quests. If you get more favor for running more difficult quests, so running it on Elite as opposed to hard or normal. And for every 100 favor you get, you'll get 50 DDO points. There are also some kind of first time per server bonuses and unlocks and things like that. There's some really good DDO point guides if that's you and you're looking to maximize your DDO point gain. YouTube is your friend. Yes, Hot Wheels. I've gotten into Hot Wheels this summer because my son has. And it kind of reignited my own love of Hot Wheels. I was just like, you know, Hot Wheels are kind of cool. 25 points. Sorry, not 50. 25 points.
Leaving the black dragon behind. My master has escaped and the second ritual is complete.
My level 30 has 7 items from the Slaver's Pack, including 4 crafted ones. There's a pretty good indication that it might be worth your time. Nice. Ah!
Lightning strikes the water below, causing electricity to course through it.
I'm gonna try to trip the dragon. Ah, it didn't work.
Causing electricity to course through it. Lightning strikes the water below, causing electricity to course through it. Acid dribbles through.
Hey, alright, level 12, sweet. I am ready to rock out as well on the Who's still shooting? You guys. Ready to rock out. So I've been saving a bunch of action points for level 12. You get a lot, you know, that's when you can unlock a lot of the tier 5 stuff in the enhancement tree. So I tend to spend my action points as I earn them for the most part through heroics, with one exception, and that is as I get toward level 12 here, I tend to save them up so I can get a whole bunch of stuff from tier 5 and just go across the board without having to respec. Ah, cool, acidic sphere. Neat. I don't have that. I don't have a sphere user on Argo either, but I might at some point. This character is fairly survivable. He'll get better as it goes along, but barbarians, because of they're getting hit points while raged, and that has really, really helped him out a ton, in my opinion. And I'm not yet ready to do that, but here's like the cool raid rune thing. Nifty. Someday. Nope. Keep on doing that. If we did Ravenloft in December, there should be a Krampus. I agree. I like it. I like that idea. I like the way you think. That's a good one. Ooh, what feat? I wasn't planning for that. See that go. Boom. Boom. Alright, well, I guess I can't quite do that one yet. Good enough. So let's see, fairly short one. Level 12. Should be something we can do. By the way, if you go to the forums, and it's in this week's DDO Chronicle, a couple of players have done some fantastic work putting together kind of favor spreadsheets and quest spreadsheets. Might want to take a look at them because there's some real good stuff there. Let's do Tomb of the Tormented. That'll be short. Let's do Hiding in Plain Sight on Elite. Oh man, it's been a while since I picked this one up. Where do I get the guy now? For Hiding in Plain Sight? It's not there. Where's Hiding in Plain Sight? Don't have it yet. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Inquisitor Ingram. Oh, Baldry. Yeah. Are there now centaurs in DDO? No, sorry. Ah, Wayward Lobster, okay.
You hear furtive whispering from the far end of the warehouse.
The old multicolored brigandine armor on Sarlona. Isn't that in the Carnival expansion pack, or am I thinking of something else? It's the one that Lessa wears, right? On her characters?
Boot tracks lead to this wall, and then stop
I thought.
abruptly.
Yeah, the one that looks like the samurai armor. I'm pretty sure that's the one from Carnival. No, I'm wrong about that. Although it's not a bad set of armor either. Oh, it's from Mindsunder and Inspired Quarters. Thank you. Very cool. Will we see new monsters with Ravenloft? Probably. That's our plan. That's our plan. Something could always come up, but yeah, I think so. Trap. Ah, cool. Yeah, the fashion show on the forums. There's a fashion show contest going on. Uh, Player run, and I've given him a couple of points, or her a couple of points to do that. July 7th is the end of that. Allocator's Habilment. It's an inspired quarter. Hey Ray, Donna, Tonk over on Facebook. Yeah, pretty sure the box is over here. I will win. Nothing can stop me. Oh, except for you guys. It's down, isn't it? I can't remember exactly which way I'm going. I think it's down here, though, isn't it? From here? Nah, we'll just tear through it. Oh, sorry to hear that, Puff Granny. Wish her the best of luck. Ooh, 2 remnants. It's my kind of drop. Any clues on a new public area? Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's a good question. Nah, better leave that one for Lamania. Is it hard to get the allocators? Not too hard. It's pretty easy to get. Certainly not, like, super duper rare.
The blockade broken. You are free to proceed into the sewers.
Thanks, Ahmed, for your kind words. Will the character transfer tool be available for Lamania? I think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the plan anyway.
These sewers
Oops. Someone reminding me I'm going the wrong way. Thank you for the reminder. We do not need the optional. Yep. Kenneth crafting needs better necklace choices. I hear ya. Makes sense.
You hear the sounds of battle from up ahead.
I too am big into my cosmetic armors. It means a lot to me to look right. Are there barbers in the game? Not in the same way that there are for Lord of the Rings Online. You can do, however, cosmetic respecking with a lesser reincarnation. That doesn't just do cosmetics, but... Or is that... Maybe I'm wrong about that, actually. It's not a lesser, is it? One of the reincarnations will let you do it.
Wet footprints lead up the steps to the northern wall.
Yeah, variant of true reincarnation for a facial restructure. That's right. Oh.
Judging from the thick cobwebs in the hallway beyond, this gate was closed for good reason.
Is there PvP in DDO? There is. It's not necessarily a huge part of DDO. In general, DDO is a PvE game, but we do have open PvP pits along with PvP optional sort of arenas that you can do. If you've got, I think especially if you've got some friends along the ride with you, you can really enjoy PvP. And there are some just general PvP zones that you can find people hanging around in. It's not, however, a super popular part of the game. So, you know, if your main goal of playing DDO is PvP, you definitely want to check it out because it's free and everything. But I think, you know, you should be warned that PvP is not necessarily a huge part of DDO. Okay, so I wasn't sure. I thought Lesser Heart would let you change your look, but then I was like, wait a second, you're wrong. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there is like basic tavern brawls, and I think at least certainly most evenings Eastern time, like when I'll bum around, I'll see people in there PvPing. So it does exist. But I think particularly if you are a heavy PvP player, you'll want to bring a couple of friends along with you to PvP with, for the most guaranteed ability to find people to group with and stuff. Titan says, there was a time on Lamania where there was epic PvP. It was a flag. When you stepped into the pit, it granted each character 100,000 hit points and spell points. What happened with that? I don't recall that being an intended thing. I don't really remember it either. But if it happened, I definitely know there were no major plans to have epic PvP. So... oh god, this thing. So my guess is it was just an incorrect flag that was set somewhere. I could be wrong about that. Any chance to get Will Wheaton to do more voice work? I think we'd be interested in that, but we also have been really enjoying Travis Willingham's work too lately, so I think we might, you know, not see the end of him either. Would I like to do more voice work? Oh, of course I would, right? But I think people hear enough of me. Am I gonna go for the bottle of air? No. I'm going to say no.
Valve and shut down the blades in the draining pipes. Water drips from your body.
But yeah, I mean, I'd love to, right? I kind of wish that I could take another pass at the recording of Tower of Frost a bit, just because it was our first time trying to do that in a non-professional studio, right? Just due to various factors involved. So it wasn't mastered, and it didn't end up, you know, sounding quite the same as, you know, some of the other stuff there. So it's kind of a bummer, and I kind of would like to have that remastered and redone maybe for that reason, but I'm overall pretty happy with the way it turned out.
entrance to the outdoors must be close.
I'm too angry. I'm so angry. And Matt Mercer would be cool too. Actually, pretty much any of those guys and gals from Critical Role would be rad. I'm down for all of it. They're all cool.
Agents of the Aurum are overseeing Hazardil's crew. But for what purpose?
No. There's my death. Yeah, I agree. I frankly, I'd like to see all of the Titan epified someday. We'll see if it ever happens. PvP live with the devs in a gladiator arena. I've thought about that at various times, that I should bring in an admin and just nuke everyone. I think that'd be fun.
Return this book to Bordry. Perhaps he
Maybe I'll do that on the live stream someday. Come at me, bro. I can be like, yoink. But it's unfair because I can just insta-kill anybody I want to. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Cindy Robinson that did the work on diplomatic impunity. Alright, clearly that's going to have to wrap it up here for the live stream since it's a little after 1. I've got to get lunch while I still can. Thanks for being here. It's true, during the 10th anniversary I dropped a few death cubes. That was fun. Alright, thanks for watching Friday afternoon here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, YouTube, and Facebook. If you would, please give a follow to us on Twitch. You'll get notified from when we go live with not only our shows, but the other shows of the fine DDO streamers. If you subscribe to us on YouTube, you'll get these videos in your subscription feed. And on Facebook, you get all the Facebook stuff in addition to our shows as they are live. Hope you have a great DDL weekend, and I will talk to you again soon. Have fun.